So the product life cycle, that's what we're talking about now, right? So that's where we're at. In your textbooks, it starts on page 95. Well, actually, it's on 94, but 95, it's got the image of the graph of the product life cycle. So a product life cycle is the same kind of product that you would get from any other company. So if a store has a product, radio has a product, okay? Radio also has something it's trying to sell. So what is our product? What is the radio station's product?
Ma'am, would you say it's, so firstly, obviously the presenters that are there, they're selling themselves, each presenter that's there. But I think the radio station itself will probably be selling the theme that they're going for. I don't know if theme's the correct term, but like, let's say 702 goes straight for talk. So it's full on talk. They're selling talk. They're talking everything within discussions that happen within politics. But then you get someone like, a radio station like 5FM, where they are more selling new music, urban music, everything that's within pop culture. Am I going on the right?
So what you are referring to is the brand.
Yeah. So wouldn't they be selling their brand?
Well, you always have to be selling your brand, but when it comes to money, you're selling something actually like an actual product. And what radio stations sell as their product is their content, their airtime.
It's the airtime as well. They're selling the airtime.
Yeah, so we sell our airtime and we sell advertising, which is part of our airtime. Okay, so we're selling minutes on air for money.
Yes.
So obviously our product needs to be as good as it can be, but so coming back to the brand is really important, because a brand is a promise that I promise I'm going to deliver on what I'm telling you you will be getting by listening to this station. So it's really important that you also sell those, even though it's not for monetary value. You don't uphold your brand values, no one's going to want to buy your product. Okay, and it comes down to any kind of brand out there, product out there works like that. If your brand isn't consistent in what they're putting forth and what they're promising and delivering on their promises, you're not going to invest in them. Okay, so a radio station focuses like a company or a business in the sense of we have products that we're selling. Our products that we're selling is content, airtime, minutes on air. Okay, so radio shows, just like any other product, has a limited life cycle. Okay, we have a limited lifespan to a radio show. Why do you think that is? Why can the same type of radio show not go on and on and on and on and on?
Because people get bored.
Okay, what else?
I think
there's a whole... Okay, go ahead.
I also think, ma'am, people will as you said, people will get bored. So I think over time, discussing the same thing, people would lose their interest in that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, besides people getting bored, there's always new things people are getting introduced to. So
we don't all stay stagnant and interested in the same things forever, do we? We evolve. I see there's someone who's unmuted. I'm not sure if you wanted to say something. Okay, no, not anymore. So just like we evolve, the way that we consume products evolve, music evolves, our content, the way that it's made evolves, everything evolves. We can't stay stagnant forever because we're going to lose our listeners and people get bored. That's true. We do want some sort of a surprise factor from time to time. Remember those our emotiveness. So a successful radio show goes through 4 stages, from when a presenter starts up until the end. Okay. During every phase, there are different strategies that we need to adopt in order to make sure that we have a successful show. Okay, so it's important for us to realize that we are going to go through these steps. When you start on air, you are going to have to go through these steps. You can't jump steps. It just doesn't work like that. You're going to start at the beginning and work your way up. So this is broken down into the content mix. Okay, so the content that is needed is for the introductory phase, for the growth phase, for the maturity phase, and for the decline phase. Those are the 4 phases. Okay, people obviously try to avoid the decline phase, but I'll show you what we will do when that happens. So the most important part of any radio show or content piece is to keep a listener engaged and listening for as long as possible. That's what we want to do, okay, always. So from a commercial perspective, the longer you keep a listener engaged, the more advertising they will hear and the more effective that advertising will be, okay? So you'll get a better return on investment for the client. If there's no advertising, the content is still considered paid for by the user. Why? Because you're downloading a podcast, which means you have taken your time. So you've paid in your time, and you might have paid in your data. So that's still a payment method that we see, okay? A disengaged user is less likely to buy another piece of content with their data and time. So if you're listening to something and you don't really like it, are you going to download it? You're not going to, okay? Meaning that you're not going to buy the product because you're disengaged. So from a public broadcasting perspective, no value can be put on a piece of disengaging audio. It's just the way that it works. So we're trying to get you to buy into our products by engaging you for as long as possible. The number 1 rule of radio, therefore, is to keep the listener listening for longer. That's what it comes down to. So what goes into a radio show or podcast, like we said yesterday, it's the product life cycle. So the introduction phase, growth phase, maturity phase, decline phase. Fine. And we said that the product or the service life cycle makes the following 3 widely accepted assumptions. Products have a limited life cycle, any product. The success or the sales of that product goes through all these 4 stages, and these all offer up different challenges and different opportunities. In every phase, a business has to work on different strategies to ensure the success of the product, and radio is no different. They go through these 4 stages, and each requires different strategies and techniques to engage. So the introduction phase, this is where we said where you meet someone in the bar for the first time. Okay, and this is the first 18 months of being on air, regardless of who you are. If you're new to a station and you're new to that show, this is where you fall into the introductory phase. We as the listeners are trying to get to know the people on air. If you make a list of the things you would not have an in-depth discussion with about, or rather, if list of things that you won't discuss with someone you've just met, it would be things like religion, politics, your sexual history or theirs, the controversial worldviews, embarrassing topics, personal details that may push the new person away. So a list of things that you would talk about if you're in a bar, something that you have in common, like the song you just heard, the entertaining barman, or the great DJ, your favorite types of series that you watch, or your favorite movie, the favorite album that you've just downloaded, general topics, whether it's relationship or lifestyle, personal, not private observations. Like I said, personal means it's something we can all relate to. Private means it's something I relate to. Okay, so we don't talk about private things, we talk about personal things. And this is the approach that you take to a brand new show. So the breakdown again. When you start in the introduction phase, you will have 35% station and promotion content mix, 35% features and benchmarks, 20% lifestyle/relationship, and 10% personal observation. That's it. Okay. What does that mean? If we break it down into the way that we just said with the bar, content would be something that you might have in common, the song you just heard, the entertaining barman or the great DJ. That in terms of radio speak would be your station and promotions, okay? Or yeah, station and promotions. And then your favorite types of entertainments, like your favorite series or your favorite album or movie. That in radio content would be your features and benchmarks. If we talk about the general relationships and lifestyle topics, that would be your relationship and lifestyle content. And lastly, your personal observations would be your personal observations, not private. So this is, again, just the breakdown of it. So we have 35% of station and promotion, 35 features, benchmarks, 20 relationship, lifestyle, 10 personal observations. So breaking this down into a link. A link, again, links are the time that a presenter uses to talk about something that has just happened. Okay. So a song that's just played, a news bulletin that was just read, and to introduce something that is about to happen, like a competition that's going to start or a story they're going to tell. So when I switch on the mic and I start talking until I switch it off. So 35% of a 3-hour show. 3-hour show equals 15 links. So 35% equals 5 links. So 5 links go to station and promotions. 5 links go to features and benchmarks. 3 links equals 20% goes to relationship or lifestyle content. And 1 link goes to personal observations. That is the introduction phase. Any questions about the introduction phase? Nada. Everyone understanding that one?
Sorry, ma'am. No. You said that the link is obviously the presenter discussing the station and promotion.
Yes.
Is that content provided to the presenter?
A lot of it we provided, yes. So not necessarily everything, but a lot of it is provided to you. Like if, especially the morning shows, or not 6 to 9 after that. If we know that there's going to be an event happening, they build in a lot of those station promotions things. Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Then,
sorry.
yes.
Sorry. One question. This introduction phase now, is it like an introduction phase for like a full out show, or if you have like a slot within the show? I'm not sure if I'm asking that question properly.
No, this is for a show. So if you're a presenter starting on a radio station, okay, a radio station has hired you as a presenter on their station for a specific show, it's going to take you 1.5 years that you're going to sit in this introduction phase before you can move on to the growth phase.
Okay.
All of you are going to go through the introduction phase if you want to be on air.
Now, ma'am, a question, like, what if you were headhunted by a person that's got like a show and they want you to speak about certain topics on their show? So like, is your introduction phase going to take as long as a year, or is like the introduction phase where you just introduce yourself the first episode of the show? Or
no, take the exact same time. The only difference is you're seen as a character then on the show, so not a main person. So the way that you will do your content is going to be different because it's not your show. You are a character on the show, so you will do your part as per whatever you were hired to do. But you're still going to have to go through this phase because people still at some point need to get to know you to decide whether they like you or not, or whether they trust you or not.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Right, so then we have the growth phase. So this is our second phase, okay? So now we've done the bit where we've gotten to know each other in the bar. We've decided that we like each other, okay? So we've gotten to know each other a bit more. Now we've fallen in love and we're more accepting of each other's flaws. while we're still learning things about each other. So you start to share more personal information, potentially more embarrassing stories about yourself. The same will be when it comes to a radio show's relationship with its listeners. Learning theory tells us that repetition is the key to knowing and understanding something. So after listening to a presenter on air for about 18 months, you either like them or you don't. Okay, so you're either going to continue listening to the show now or you're not going to. It is what it is. This is where your personal opinions begin to matter more. So this is where I'll actually start taking your personal opinions into consideration. And where you will start talking more about human interest topics and relevant content pieces on air. So now we have the growth phase here. So from 35, we're down to 20% for station and promotions, from 35 to 30% for features and benchmarks. Features and benchmarks will always be there or somewhere in the show. 25% for lifestyle/relationship, so gone up with 5. 20% for personal observation, so that's gone up with 10%. And then we have a new little one here, heart, okay, 5%, so 1 link.
Sorry, what is features and benchmarks plus heart?
It's 2 different things. So we're going to talk about it in detail, but your features and your benchmarks are like your set features. So like your Ask a Man feature, or your set game that you know you're going to play, like a set. I don't know, what games do they play that we can talk about? Like,
guess who the celebrity is?
Yes, that, or like a 30 seconds, or like a phoner of the day, or like a random pop quiz, or news on the streets. So there's different types of things that can be built in there, but it's set built-in things in your show. And you asked about heart. So heart is when it comes to you personally. Okay, it's things that you personally care about.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so it's there, you can see like includes emotional, personal experiences and opinions. So we're getting to know you a little bit better here. So that's our breakdown. If we now break this down into how we'll do a show, again, a show has 15 links. Each hour has 5 links. So 15 over 3 hours. Okay, so now your station and promotions will only be 3 links.
Sorry, ma'am.
Yes.
Can you please go to the slide before this one?
This one?
Yes, just for a minute. Actually, a sec. I want to do something quickly.
You what?
Okay, thank you. No, I wanted to do a screenshot because I'm listening from work. I'm not at home.
Okay. Well, this is in your book, eh?
Oh, okay.
So this is from page 94 in your textbook.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. 3 links means in average 1 per link, 1 per hour. Features and benchmarks, 5 links. Lifestyle and relationship content is now 3 links. Personal observations are now 3 links, and heart is 1. Okay, 1 out of your 3 links. So just to give you an idea, I'm not going to ask you to do this now, but I would have liked us to do it. If you were to build a link in the growth phase, you need to take into consideration some things, and that is that there will be news at the top of the hour. There will be news at the bottom of the hour. There will be sport at the bottom of the hour and sport at the top of the hour. And there will be weather, there will be traffic, there will be spot breaks, okay? These are all taken away already from your time, okay? So you need to take that into consideration when you start building these clocks. Because every show has those types of elements. Something else I want to tell you before we carry on is that there's only 2 types of links that we get. And we've spoken about this a little bit. So those that promise that you are about to do something, so which is a throw forward, or those that perform the piece, so the actual content piece. Do you remember in your previous? Oh no, you haven't. I'm getting confused now. We haven't. Have you done this with me? You haven't done this with me yet, eh?
No.
Okay. So then all you need to know for now is that when it comes to content on air, there are two types of content. The promise and the performance. That's it. You either promise that you are going to perform something later on coming up, or you are going to deliver on that promise and perform that piece. Okay. So there's a throw forward or the actual piece of content. That's what it comes down to when we look at all of this stuff. Something else you need to just remember is you're never going to play two songs back to back without station imaging or station IDs in between. Why? Because I want to be top of mind. I want to have top of mind awareness when you are listening to me so that you know who you are listening to. And there will always be a link before the spots and before a throw forward to the song or the content after the adverts. Okay. So throw forward is not telling the listener what's coming up. It's telling them why they need to listen. Always remember, it's always about the why. It's selling them that content or the song, keeping them listening for longer, which is what we want to do. So always play imaging out of spots and into a song. So just briefly again, intro, growth. So we are now here. Do you see what we're doing? We are now moving up the scale. So we are now going from more generic content, so 35% station and promo, 35% benchmarks and features, 20% lifestyle relationships, 10% personal observations, where if we broke it down, it's 5 links for station and promo, 5 links for features and benchmarks, 3 for relationships and lifestyle, and 1 for personal observation. We've moved to here, which is 20% station and promo, 30% features and benchmarks, 25% lifestyle / relationship, 20% personal observation, 5% heart, which equals 3 links station and promo, 5 links still features and benchmarks, 3 links relationship lifestyle content, 3 links personal observations, 1 link heart. And from there, we are moving